Hi everyone, we're out on a drive today to take Cracker for a walk as per normal, and it's a very normal day for us. This is exactly the sort of thing that I would normally do. So it's a strange situation that I wanted to communicate with you, which is before I bought the Kona electric, I was considering exactly this. If I go on one of my normal drives, what would it be like if I had the 39 kilowatt hour battery, or what would it be like if I had the 64 kilowatt hour battery? And I'm lucky enough this morning to have had that exact situation. So with the two cars on the driveway, the 64 kilowatt hour had 70-something percent of charge left in it, with a range of 200 miles, whereas the 39 kilowatt hour had just over 60% of range available, sorry, 60% charge available, and a range of just under 100 miles. So the difference between the two, I'm about to go and do 65 to 75 miles, hopefully, without any detours or distractions. So both would be fine, but the difference is one doesn't leave you a lot of contingency, it leaves you with only 20 miles left, and that's how comfortable are you with that, and the other just does it without any problem. Now obviously, if I'd have planned ahead, I could have plugged this smaller battery one in so we had more charge, and therefore does that invalidate this discussion? Well, maybe, maybe not. What I'm thinking is, with the 39 kilowatt hour, you are going to encounter this situation of having a not full battery more often, and with a not full battery, it's going to potentially need charge. So today, just in case we go somewhere else, I'm going to nip off to a charger just for a few minutes, just to add hopefully 20, 30, maybe even 40 miles of range on the car, just to make sure that we're catered for the day. And I guess that's the difference, that with the 64 kilowatt hour version, you don't really have to think about it as much. You can treat it as a normal car, and less often are you considering, do I need to charge it? So this morning it was a case of logging on to Google Maps, having a look at the distances, checking where we might go, and working out whether we have enough range in the car. Well, as I said, with the 64 kilowatt hour, you're not doing that so often. It becomes more natural. There's plenty of range, so you don't have to consider it. So I think one of the big differences between the two isn't just how far it can go, but it's the amount of comfort that you have, not even having to think about it. The 64 kilowatt hour makes it feel more like an ordinary car, petrol or diesel, where you're not considering the range and whether you have to refuel or charge as much as you would in the 39 kilowatt hour. So yeah, now having driven both and having the experience of both, I can definitely gauge that for me, I wouldn't be buying the 39 kilowatt hour because I'd be thinking too much about how often you have to charge. Now for those that have got smaller batteries or cars very similar to this in range and size, you know, the Leaf, the Zoe, the i3, you know, it's second nature, and I'm sure you get used to charging. I'm still a newbie, getting used to it, but do I really want to get used to it? And that's what puts people off perhaps joining the electric revolution, having their own electric car. So for me, I think the 64 kilowatt hour, even though it's more expensive, even though it's heavier and not as efficient, I think it makes sense because it will help people decide to go electric rather than the 39 kilowatt hour, which is perhaps perfectly suited to those that are happy charging and not worried at all about range anxiety and the new nuances of having to calculate where you're going and make sure you've got enough range. Anyway, just thought I'd share those thoughts. It was a very interesting morning this morning, thinking which car shall we take, and of course, since I've got this one on loan, it'd be wrong to leave it at home because I want to fully test it, fully drive it and get the most from it. So it would be unfair to Hyundai to only do limiting testing. So that's what we're doing, and I thought I'd share that with you today. Thanks for watching everyone, take care, until the next time, bye bye.